and she kind of brought me into the room and laid me down, then called about 4 different cousins.
Okay, basically I had no place to stay, and I was like 16 years old, and this guy asked me if I need a place to stay, and he said I can come and sleep on his couch. And basically I woke up in the middle of the night with this guy trying to have sex with me. Like, not just trying to touch me, like trying to put something in me. You know, it wasn't good.
Did you?
Trying to rape me.
Did you do anything?
I pushed him away with my feet, but he was a really big guy and it was hard. And I ran basically from Newmarket to Toronto, like in the middle of the night, in just a pair of underwear. It was bad. It was bad.
We live in a house where there was a whole bunch of cousins and family members live in the same place. So my family members, the elders, the parents, went to a family gathering. So it left all of us kids at home. And my cousin, who was about 16 to 17 at the time, came up with this, and she kind of brought me into the room and laid me down, then called about 4 different cousins or so. And they just started taking turn and ordering after she went first, to show the other kids what to do. Then she ordered the other kids to come and take turn with me. So basically you could think about it like a sexual orgy with 1 8-year-old boy and other close to be teenagers and stuff. And from what I remember, simply because I didn't know the experience of orgasm or when a guy comes, once I was about to come, it felt weird. I didn't know what it was, and I told her I'm about to pee. Didn't know that was cum that was going to come out. So from there on, it's like it became a weird experience. But
like he was like taking his, like, it was like a negative energy, I guess you could say, and he kept like slapping me on the ass and like saying like negative things, and it was just very uncomfortable and awkward. And his way of dealing with it was going for like a quote-unquote walk. I went to a guy's house that was going to make me dinner, and everything was going great. And then after dinner, we decided that we were going to have sex. And then he decided that he was going to be super aggressive during sex, and it was our first time. And it was very quick and short and very awkward, I guess. And then at the end of it, he decided the best way to deal with the situation was to ignore what had just happened and go for a walk. But the way he did it was as if he was taking a dog outside to play with a frisbee, and he was like tapping his legs and was like, let's go for a walk, like let's go throw the frisbee around. And I thought it was the weirdest way in response to a situation, and ended up going outside and then just simply walking away.
I was raped a week and a half ago. It happened, and right now I'm in the process of contacting lawyers and going against the person who did it to me. They tried to charge me even though I was raped, and it's really messed up. The cops even charged me here in Canada.
Is this someone you know?
No.
Oh.
Somebody I knew for 2 days. Somebody I just met. After it happened, the first thing he did was he smashed my phone. After he smashed my phone, he kicked me in the head before he left twice. He ran right out of my apartment. I had no phone to call 911, so I had to run across the street to my friend, my boss, and he drove me to the hospital. I was in the hospital for hours where they did blood work. They did a CAT scan for me, and then I didn't leave my bed for maybe 3 or 4 days because I was so depressed. After that, I got a knock on the door, and the police pretty much came to my door and said that I assaulted him. So I was charged. And even before I can go after him for raping me and kicking me in the head, even though I have evidence from the hospital, I have to clear my name first before I can even say what happened. And that's here in Canada, Toronto. Canada is one of the countries in the world where I do think people believe it's supposed to be one of the safest countries for women to live, but it's really not, because bad things do happen, and I think that the government and the police, they just hide it. So we have a good reputation.
Worst sex experience? In the basement of the laundry room of her house. It was so bad, it was on a chair. It was very cold, also in the spring. And I wish I could roll back time and not do it ever again. No, it was actually a one-night stand. It was in the basement, in the laundry room. My friend with another girl was upstairs, so they stole the bed, and I had to go to the laundry room and have it with this girl on a chair. It was cold, and that's it. It was very bad.
I think the worst experience having any kind of sexual experience would be that most men, especially when we're all young, do not know anything about the female body or how to please a woman.
You mean Katrin or?
Yeah, just in general, like about female orgasm, like they don't know how to get you there. Especially if like you're young and the girl is too, like definitely know where the clitoris is, like definitely like look into that, Google it if you have to, learn how it works. I guarantee you your sex life will be a lot better if you do that.
My worst sex experience was the guy was very nice, but he ended up having the smallest dick I've ever seen in my entire life. And I couldn't feel it when it went in.
I'd say my worst sexual experience is lack of communication, because communication is lubrication, and I think that's the most important thing.
So it'd probably be when I was at university, and we had a fundraising club night for one of the courses, and there was like a friend there who I had a little bit of crush on, and we got drunk, started kissing. Then we ended up going back to my place, and it was a little bit weird because I'd known her for quite a long time, and that we were kind of like good friends. And yeah, so we went back, and then stuff happens, and I'm putting my computer on to put some music on because I got like roommates and stuff. And I was like, oh, what do you want on? And she looks at my computer and she goes, oh, can you put Moana on? And I'm like, Moana, like what? And she's like, yeah, put Moana on. So I put Moana on, then we have sex, Moana on. It's kind of, I've never had sex with a film on. It's kind of a weird experience having Moana on a big screen in the background. Like whenever I watch that film again, I feel kind of uncomfortable because of the time. And what made it kind of weird was also hindsight, because I found afterwards from other friends that was her first time. So yeah, it kind of made the friendship kind of weird after that, and we kind of stopped talking. And yeah.